Yesterday, I had a coworker come to me. He told me that he had a problem. He said, "Hey, Chaplain, I got a question for you. This person humiliated me. He said something to me, and should I go to management? Should I go to his manager or the higher ups?" And I said, "Hey, excuse me, did you ever have a conversation with him?" And he said, "Well, we went back and forth in a cursing match. He never told me he had a conversation with him of how he felt." A lot of times we are we find it difficult to talk to someone about what they've done that has offended us because we have a lot of things going on, and it's a tough thing to go into, to tell someone, "Well, you made me feel this way," and to avoid the conflict or the back and forth or a possible argument that comes from it. We brush it under the table. Even if the thing that has happened to you wasn't done maliciously, if we don't address it, what happens is we paint that person with a negative thought, meaning we have a negative view that they did this thing maliciously. But maybe they didn't do it maliciously. Maybe the fact that they're doing something and not even thinking of it. Sometimes, obviously, people do things that are wrong, but if they're never addressed, how could they find out what they're doing is affecting you? Like I said, it's very difficult to address someone. So what we should do is be open and honest. I find it very difficult because when you hide things or push it under the table, brush it under the rug, whatever you want to call it, it builds up inside of us. So that little argument that could have happened in the beginning, if we confronted that person, turns into something that's much greater, because there's something that's brewing inside of you about that person and what they've done. And if it happens again and you don't have the conversation, guess what? This thing is brewing. It becomes this big hurricane, tornado, tsunami, whatever is going on, fire that's raging inside of you about that person. And maybe that person didn't even mean it that way. Or maybe they did. But the thing is always to be able to confront them. Confront them in a loving way, the most loving way possible, without trying to hurt their feelings. So we're trying to avoid further conflict. We're trying to be open and honest about what's going on with us in that moment. And we're trying to clear the air from the beginning instead of harboring things that someone might not really have against you, but that have made us feel bad. Stay true, stay right, be open.